Hey everyone. I'm back with another episode in my series on recycling old, broken nail clippers. And today it's not just one trick. I'm sharing 2 clever hacks to prove that creativity truly has no limits. So, if you've got a bunch of old nail clippers lying around, grab them and let's get started together. Here I've got 2 small bolts that are just the right size to fit into the holes of the nail clippers, along with 4 nuts. They're really handy for connecting important components together, creating a sturdy structure. Next, I've got a rectangular piece of wood that I'll use as a base to keep all the important parts on top even more secure. I'm sure you're already familiar with this male electrical plug. In practice, it's really useful for connecting devices safely to a power source. The type of wire I'm using in this project has a core made of many small copper strands tightly twisted together, which makes it flexible and durable for various connections. Beyond its excellent electrical conductivity, it's also very good at transmitting TV signals. What I'm holding in my hands are 2 small alligator clips. They're really handy for making quick, temporary connections, testing circuits, or holding components securely while working on a project. To secure the male electrical plug to the wooden base, I'll be using hot glue. It's perfect for this because it bonds quickly, holds components firmly in place, and makes the assembly more stable without needing screws or nails. Here I also have a female electrical plug. It's very useful for creating safe connections with the male plug, completing the circuit, and allowing devices to be powered or tested easily. Next, I have a section of coaxial cable. I'll be preparing it to connect a DIY antenna in this project to the TV. It's very useful for transmitting TV signals or other data with minimal loss, keeping the connection stable and reliable. On the end of this coaxial cable, I'll attach an F-type connector and a 90-degree F adapter. The purpose of this setup is to make it much easier to connect to the TV. On the other end of this coaxial cable, I'll prepare it to connect to the female electrical plug. So our DIY antenna is now complete. But don't forget, in this video I'm showing two different hacks. Before connecting the DIY antenna to the TV, I'll move on to demonstrate the other trick. For this second hack, I'll be turning this old, broken nail clipper into a tool that can open traditional mechanical locks. Imagine those times when someone misplaces their key or leaves it somewhere. They say this could be a lifesaver in tricky situations. But remember, it can also be dangerous if used with bad intentions. So, if you don't have a good purpose, it's best to stay away. To get this done, you should secure the piece with a bench vise and use a cutting tool. Doing it this way takes much less effort compared to the usual manual methods. At this size, it still feels too large compared to the keyhole of the lock, so we'll need to grind it down to about 1/3 of its current size to make it suitable. Once the size looks right, we'll use a metal file to shape it into a serrated edge. This is the metal file I mentioned earlier for those who might not be familiar with it. Alright, that's it, we're done. Take a look at this structure, it's quite unique, isn't it? It might be tricky for beginners at first, but with some practice you'll get the hang of it. And to see if it actually works, let's go ahead and test it in real use. So that's a success. Now let's move on to testing the DIY antenna device. Before connecting the DIY antenna to the TV, I'll check the TV first to show you that the results haven't been staged or set up in advance. And there you have it, 2 simple ideas, each with its own practical use. From something as small as an old nail clipper to a DIY antenna, sometimes the things we overlook still have plenty of value when we give them a second look. It doesn't always take fancy tools or expensive materials, just a bit of patience and a willingness to try. Hopefully this video gives you a fresh perspective and a little inspiration to start creating something on your own. Thanks for spending your time with me today. If you enjoyed it, stick around for more projects like this. And as always, let's keep building, keep experimenting, and keep that creativity going. See you in the next video.